Hi, and welcome to Paystub Direct. This is a tutorial series on the many aspects of payroll and paystub creation. One of the biggest questions and cause for concern is creating paystubs with the correct dates. So this will be a tutorial on how to create and work with paystub dates. Let's start off with Paystub Direct, and you can create on our site. You can create 4 different templates. If you simply click the Make Paystub, it will send you to the modern Paystub. So let's go there, and we have our Paystub modern style template. From the other series, you can learn about how to change the settings, the taxes, and create pay stubs and how to pay. But this is specifically regarding the dates. So there are a few aspects to dates. Initially, it may seem a little complicated, but it will be cleared up after this brief video. So on our site, you can choose to have auto calculate or on and off. Obviously, we want this on because this will help. You can go off and turn things on. But let's start with an hourly or a salary employee. That is the first question you need to ask yourself. Do you get paid per hour, or do you get paid by a larger salary type employee, meaning monthly or bi-monthly? Those are the two real options. You can also say yearly. Your salary for the year is X, but typically we see a monthly salary. I make X amount per month. If you are an hourly worker, then that means you get paid a certain amount per hour, and depending on how many hours you work. Usually, hourly workers are either weekly paid or bi-weekly. Weekly and bi-weekly are usually the best for employees since they get the money sooner and it's in their hands, versus, for example, monthly or bi-monthly, the owner of the company keeps the money longer, and you want the money in your hands as quick as possible. So let's just do that because that is the most common weekly type pay. So getting back to dates, the first date of importance is when you were hired. Paystub Direct automatically sets it up so that you get this current year of pay. So we set it up as your hire date was 12/31, which is the end of last year, 2020, depending on the time that you're watching this video. So your first day of work would be the first. Of course, the details, if you do work on the day after New Year's or when that day falls, that's all semantics depending on your company. But let's just call it that to keep things simple. That is your hire date. Excuse me. Now, the reason why we need that is to figure out how much money you have made this year. Let's make it simple. If we say you got hired on the first day of the year and you were paid weekly, we know that you have worked for 32 weeks. Let's do the calculation here real quick to see how much you make. Let's try and figure out how much would you make at, you made $1,000 a week every week for 32 weeks. That means you made $32,000. Here you don't have to worry about it since we figured this out for you and we show you the numbers clear and instant. But to make it less complicated, $25 an hour. But this could be $13.25, and you have to trust our math that it is $16,960 every year for this year if you get paid for 32 pay periods. Now, to keep the math clear, let's just say you do make $25 an hour, and we can easily see $32,000. So that is how we know how much you got paid for year to date. That is the only reason why we need this number from you, or this date, excuse me, for our year to date. It will also be used in the year to date calculations for your taxes. So let's just select, I think that's was set up in Alabama, but let's click California. And now we know California taxes for somebody making $32,000 will be charged this much taxes, and your net pay will be $22,473. So your deductions for federal, Social Security, Medicare, and your California state income tax. But since we're talking about dates, let's focus on that and continue on. So we have a hire date. Now, we also, it shows here on the site that you have 7 days. If you want to change that, you simply click, and here you change this box to bi-weekly. So bi-weekly means you get paid every 2 weeks. Not 2 times a month, that is different. It is every 2 weeks. So it is an 80-hour pay period. As you can see here, this changed to 80 hours. If you go back to weekly, it goes to 40, and everything else changes back. Go back to weekly, and we're there. See it again, and we're there again. Great. You may notice some delay. You do have to wait sometimes for the website to catch up to do the real calculation because it is real-time calculations. So let's go back to weekly, and the taxes will be close. Of course, there is they should be very close, but it is off a little bit since it is a different type of pay. At the end of the year, when you do your taxes, that will all equal out. Okay, so now we have 32 pay periods at weekly, making $1,000, $42,000 at the time of this year. At the end of the year, after 2 weeks, you're going to make $52,000. Let's start here with these numbers. We have revitalized this many times, and it will continue to grow and to expand. To make this clear, we made the colors different so it is clearer to say. So let's click on the green, and let's say you get paid starting on this Monday. Therefore, now, since you have clicked this, our site will calculate every week, going backwards, starting on Monday, ending on Sunday. This is automatically done for you. And at this, since you are selecting this green, you can connect the green. You can only set the green, the period start. Okay, and this is causing an issue simply because it is now, today's date is the 12th, and this is saying the last day possible you can work. So let's go back to July and show this again. Beginning date, working days, and the end date of your pay period. Even though you may work only Monday through Friday and get Saturday and Sunday off, that still means your pay period is still 7 days. That means 5 days of work and 2 days off. Your full pay period is this length. There's no such thing as a pay period that doesn't have any days on it. There isn't such a thing as days off, but that is included in your pay period. So to make that clear, that is the green setting with the green. If you want to do the other way, if you think in reverse and you want to click your period ending, so now you select which is your last day. Your last day is the 11th, or excuse me, that Sunday. You will now see how this changes and updates. So this is your last day, the days of work, and when you started. Last date here is your pay date. This is the yellow. To explain the pay date is the day that you actually get paid. Either you get a check, or you get cash, or a direct deposit. That is the day that your company will send you the check. Typically, it is the day after the next pay period. Intuitively, you would think that you get paid on your last day. So you work Monday through Friday and you want to get paid. But that is not how businesses do it. Simply because on this day, let's say, for example, you work from 9 to 5 and everybody else in the office works from 9 to 5, you have to wait until you finish your shift at 5 o'clock, and then somebody would have to run payroll. That payroll is a person that works in the HR department and simply does not have that time from 5 o'clock when they want to go home too on a Friday to run the payroll, as that takes time. They don't work on Saturdays or Sundays. So arguably the first day you could do it, you would get paid, would be middle of the day on Monday, the 12th. Again, thinking as other people, the HR department would show up at 9 o'clock in the morning on Monday, do the work, do the calculations, send the money, go call to the bank, and produce that money to you. So that would be arguably the earliest time that you can get it, would be maybe middle of the day on Monday if they give you cash. But since we don't usually do cash and we do bank transfers, it would take some time. How long? Well, sometimes it's up to 3 or 4 days from the time that you do a transfer to the time it shows up in your account. So technically, you would probably get it somewhere around here on the 14th or the 15th. Now, to make things consistent, companies usually do they quote unquote run the payroll middle of the week at some time. And at that point, they will say, okay, we will run the payroll. Your money will be deposited in the next 3 to 4 days. They do that on a Wednesday. It might arrive on Friday or the next business day, which is usually Monday. And that is why we get the 19th, or the week after your payroll date. As you can imagine, this takes time from the HR or payroll personnel in your company. Therefore, instead of doing it every Wednesday of each week, employers do like to do it its least amount of time, ideally once a month. But they understand that people want their money, so they do it 2 times a month or every 2 weeks. So the HR and payroll people get a break. If you do work here and here, you don't have to do the payroll until the following week. It's that simple. So to reiterate, you have 4 dates, 4 important dates. Hire date, which is used for your year-to-date calculations. The period start date, when your pay period starts. Your period end date, when your period ends, which is in red. And then your pay date. You can change any of these values on our website. If you want to make it on the 19th, then the very next day, then no problem. Or sorry, in the 12th, excuse me, then no problem, you can set it. But we do recommend, and the system automatically generates it on the date of one pay period later. And if you change the setting here to, let's say, the 12th, you started on the 12th, you finish on the 18th. Therefore, the system will again suggest one pay period later. You have to change that again yourself. Let's see this in an example with biweekly. Last pay periods, you started on the 15th, or sorry, in the 5th, you ended on the 18th, and there's no yellow. The reason for that is it is actually on the next month, next payroll period. You can easily change that by clicking your pay date and selecting which date you want it. Let's say you want it that Monday, which doesn't make sense to us, but if you want it that way, you can set it. And there it is. Start on the 5th, end on the 18th, and you get paid on the 19th. All this information is shown. You have a 14-day pay period. You have a 14 working days. That's the difference. And here's your pay date. I hope this is clear. And if you have any further questions, please do ask us for videos. Put your likes in the comments, and we will definitely clear things up for you. This is a tutorial by Paystub Direct, and we want you to have the best pay stubs for your payroll, for yourself or your employees. Thank you, and have a good day.